They found her diary hidden in the walls. The last entry still haunts me. In the winter of 1998, a young couple, Mark and Sarah, moved into an old farmhouse in rural Vermont. The house had been abandoned for decades, ever since the previous owner, a reclusive woman named Eleanor, vanished without a trace. The realtor warned them about strange noises, but they dismissed it as old house creaks. Then, during renovations, they tore down a section of the bedroom wall and found it, a small leather-bound diary, its pages brittle with age. Sarah began reading the entries aloud. Most were mundane, weather reports, chores, loneliness, but the final pages changed. December 12th, 1947. He's inside the house now. I hear him whispering my name. The locks won't hold. The next entry was scrawled in jagged handwriting. He's not human. He watches me sleep. God help me. The last page was blank, except for a single, fresh fingerprint in what looked like blood. That night, Sarah woke to the sound of scratching inside the walls. Mark checked, but there was nothing. Then at 3:17 a.m., the bedroom door slowly creaked open. Sarah swears she saw a shadow, tall, too tall, standing in the doorway. When they moved out a week later, the new owners reported the same thing, whispers in the walls. Was it Eleanor's ghost, or something far worse? Would you have stayed to find out? This is the scariest encounter I've ever read, and it might be real. In 2014, a trucker named Greg was driving through the Appalachian Mountains when he spotted a lone hitchhiker, pale, shivering, wearing a tattered flannel shirt. Greg pulled over. The man climbed in without a word. His eyes were fixed on the road until Greg glanced over. The hitchhiker's eyes were completely black. No whites, no irises, just endless darkness. You shouldn't have stopped, the man whispered. Greg slammed the brakes. The passenger seat was empty, no footprints in the snow. Later at a diner, a waitress turned pale when Greg described the man. That's the third time this month someone's seen him, she said. They always vanish after. Greg searched online and found reports dating back to the 1800s. Hitchhikers with black eyes appearing before disasters. A week after his encounter, a bridge collapsed on that very road. Was it a warning or something more sinister? Have you ever seen a black-eyed person? She was in his car the whole time. He just didn't see her until it was too late. In 2011, a rideshare driver named Javier picked up a woman outside a Miami nightclub. She was silent, dressed in white, and gave an address in the Everglades. Halfway there, Javier glanced in the rearview mirror. The seat was empty. He pulled over, heart pounding. The app showed no recent trips. Javier drove home shaken. The next morning, his back seat reeked of swamp water. Then he found it, a single muddy handprint on the window. A week later, a news report aired. A woman's body had been pulled from the Everglades. She'd been missing since 1987. The address Javier was given? The exact spot where she was found. Javier quit driving that night, but other rideshare drivers in Miami swear they've picked up the same passenger, always in white, always silent. Was she leading him to her body or looking for revenge? Would you have kept driving? They say if you hear them laughing, you have 3 days left. Alton, England is known for its haunted history, but locals avoid the old orphanage ruins after dark. In 2008, a documentary crew ignored the warnings. They set up audio equipment, hoping to capture EVPs. What they got was worse. At midnight, the recorder picked up children giggling. The crew assumed it was an echo until the laughter turned to screams. The audio analyst found something chilling. The screams matched those of orphans who died in a 1923 fire. 3 days later, one crew member vanished near the ruins. His last voicemail, a whisper, "They're holding my hand." Were they luring him to the other side? Listen to the audio, if you dare. He took photos in his sleep. When he developed them, they weren't of this world. In 1995, a university student named Daniel began sleepwalking. His roommate Liam noticed something odd. Daniel's vintage camera was always missing in the morning. One day, Liam developed the film. What he saw still haunts him. The photos showed a foggy graveyard, non-existent on campus. In each shot, a blurred figure stood closer, until the final frame, a skeletal hand gripping Daniel's shoulder. Daniel had no memory of taking them. A week later, Daniel vanished. His camera was found in a nearby cemetery, its lens cracked. Locals claim the graveyard in the photos matches one demolished in 1901. Was something pulling him into the past? Would you have burned the photos? The broadcast was supposed to be fake. Then the screams started, and they weren't acting. In 1989, a Chicago radio station aired a Halloween special, a live haunted house investigation. The hosts Rick and Dana joked as they entered the abandoned Waverly Hotel. Then at 2:30 a.m., the signal cut to a voice whispering numbers. Listeners heard Dana shriek, then a wet crunch. Rick's final words, "It's not a person." Police found the equipment intact, but no hosts. The station erased the recording, except for one bootleg copy. If you listen closely, something growls in the static. The Waverly was demolished in 1992. Workers reported finding claw marks inside the walls. Was it a hoax gone wrong, or did they wake something up? This story ends here, but what we uncovered next changed everything. In 2006, a group of urban explorers broke into an abandoned psychiatric hospital in Scotland. They brought cameras, EVP recorders, and a live stream for their fans. Then at 2:47 a.m., the feed cut to static. When it returned, one explorer was missing. The remaining friends searched frantically. Then the live stream audio picked up a voice, not human, whispering, "You shouldn't have come back." The missing explorer's camera was found in a locked room. The last footage showed a figure standing in the corner, its face blurred, but its mouth was stretched too wide. The police ruled it a disappearance, but the hospital's records revealed something worse. Patients had reported the exact same voice before vanishing in the 1950s. These 7 stories are just the beginning. Some say the dead speak only once. Others believe they never stop. But one thing is certain, there are darker tales waiting in the shadows, forgotten diaries, unplayed recordings, missing people who were never found or who came back wrong. If you dare to hear them, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the next story might be closer than you think. Sleep with the lights on. We'll be watching.